Am I audible, Putte? Yes, no? Everybody? Okay. Right. Switch on the camera, all of you. Good evening, everybody. Please keep your camera switch on. Where is your laptop? Right. Hi, Vidumini, Dulansa, Tenuki, Saheli, Situmi, Dagana. Right. Ape Anitlam. Aisha, Maula. Aisha, your grade or grade 11? Yours, no? Usman is there. So today you guys have to do your presentation. Am I right? Yes. Link huh? What? Right. Okay. Dulansa, are you ready to present? Unmute yourself and tell me. Dulansa is...
Teacher.
Yeah. Why I can't spotlight? Gagan. I have given Gagan a co-host. Okay. Dulansa, Tenuki. Okay. You can start now, Putta.
Good evening, everybody. Today I'm going to do the presentation for the poem I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. When we talk about the poet Maya
Do you
Angelou,
have a presentation? Did you prepare a presentation? No, you didn't?
Maya Angelou, her real name is Margaret Annie Johnson, and she was born in 1928, April 4th, and died in 20th May 24. And she is a poet and also activities, and she was a woman who turned pain into poetry and the racism into rhythm and the brokenness into a language where talks about freedom of black Americans. And also she has beaten the oracle hardship and the trauma and strength. And also, this is a poem. This is a poem by Maya Angelou, and it is her autobiography. This poem, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, and here that poem initially talks about her identity, and also there is a message given by this poem. It is behind every bar of pain there lives a melody of hope. That is her identity talk in this poem. And when we go through the summary of this poem, here we can see a vivid contrast between two birds, but they are named as cage bird and a free bird. And the birds, being birds, there is no difference, but there has been made a difference. Here, free bird takes no effort. He is chasing in the sky, enjoying whatever that birds can do, and they enjoy their happiness and craving for another luxury. But when we compare to the free bird to a cage bird stalks, and cage bird wings are clipped, legs are tied, so that bird has only its voice to sing, and that their singing voice identify the freedom for the freedom, and they cry for freedom, and it is like a symbol that identify an anthem of hope echoing against oppression. And here and also this is where highlight deep racial pain between black Americans and white Americans, because black Americans as considered someone different when we compare to white American, because just because of their skin tone, because they are black. And also this is a deep racial pain of black American, where which is it is kind of a historical suffering being borne by discrimination. And also in this poem they label as caged bird. And so again being a cage bird, they can't eat fat worms like free birds do, and they can't have the environment to see the even sunrise, and how also there is no way to see the sunrise. And but considers as a bird, they all have same needs, they all have same feelings, they all have same blood, and they all have same senses, but they have considered as a different unwanted thing, because they are the cage bird is compared to black American. And also here this poem you can you can understand that Maya Angelou question, are you people right or wrong, that are we the ones responsible for being black Americans because of our color, because our color is black, is it? And also asking question, is it up to us being black? And when we go through the themes, there are some 5 major themes. First one is freedom versus oppression. That means here you can see cage bird. Cage bird has the privilege, they has the freedom, and they has the liberty, they have the opportunities to grow, and they are eating fat worms, waiting on a bright lawn. But when you compare that needs to cage bird, they are oppressed by social systems that is kind of unwanted and considered as slaves, and they considers that society don't need them. But they are still trying to find their peace. They still trying to cry for freedom by using their voice, and which they can only imagine in a dream. And also here we can go through the second theme, hope and resistance. As I said before, the cage birds' wings are tied, the wings are clipped, and the legs are tied. But even with clipped wings, even with the tied legs, in the cage, they are their cage bird singing, and it is that songs becomes a singer of defiance, and also it shows that hope doesn't die in cage, and it becomes louder even in the cage. And here we can see when one start, it automatically spread to another, then it become echo. It shows the resilience. And also third theme is voice and expression. It embodies that awakening even in silence, help to find a way through the courage to raise and stand for themselves, being Black Americans, for their rights. And they spread it, and it showcased that even once voice started to grow, and it automatically goes others, and that voice will it proves that voice will never fade. It is true. And also when a white bird flies to the edge of the world, black one won't be able to see at least at the shadow of cloud. And also here the cage bird, because free bird have the luxury food, free bird have the opportunities, they have the happiness, but the cage bird didn't see that but the cage bird didn't see, because they are inside a cage, their wings are clipped and their legs are tied. And when we go through the fourth theme, it is all about racial injustice, and it questions how same nation can be treated in a different way, two different ways, that white Americans treat in another way, and black Americans treat in another way. And in the theme of racial injustice, it talks about the unfairness and compare the lifestyle of a white American to a black American who need the same food and beverages, because they're also humans. And here also it shows who need the same food and beverage, and who need the same love and the voice to speak, rights to live. But here they questions how the same nation can be treated in two different ways. And also when we go through the literary devices, we can find so many. And here metaphor we can see two birds contrast to human conditions, that free bird is identified as white American, and the cage bird has identified as the black American. And also we can see the symbolism, two birds and cage symbolized as restriction and racism. And the song which is black Americans hope and the resistance. And here imagery, there is a narrow cage, so we can understand how the pain is, how the black Americans survive, and the desire to for too much, but for the basics they only have the basics, but they don't have that kind of happiness, luxury food, that kind of stuff they don't have. And here we can understand the imagery when the words like leaping, stalking, and also we can find two other literary devices which are contrast and the repetition, and the feet and wings are repeated. So in conclusion, this is not just about a story, because as I said before, this is a autobiography by Maya Angelou, and also a mirror of human spirit, that a voice echoing for the equality, being humans. And also and finally I can say we all have a cage which is known as fear and expectations. Beyond that, Maya Angelou reminds that it is important to speak, stand before injustice, right, and reminds to be ourselves, no matter how others treat, how others think us. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you so much, Dulansa. So, a huge improvement From the day one onwards, you have been improving yourself. You enter the battlefield with a lot of skills, right? With a lot of skills now, day by day, you are improving rapidly, right? That improvement are so visible. I'm so happy to hear the pronunciations. Your pronunciation is getting better and better day by day, right? That you are adding that stylish touch to your voice, that your pronunciations, your tongue, that is that day by day you become more natural, right? You just sound like a native speaker. Very fluently you handle your language. That's a very positive point. And when we consider the literature part, everything to the dot. Techniques, literary techniques, and the devices, themes, and most importantly, that's a part which is given by your sister as well. Gehansa also having a very nice perspective, that the thought provoking part is very attractive in hers. It's yours the same. Yours also the same. I love the way when Dulan's Gehansa is to giving her personal final touch. I really like it. The same vibe I see in yours as well, right? So as you mentioned, we all have that barriers in our life, the fear, right? Some of us, we afraid of people. Some of us, we afraid of darkness. We afraid of taking challenges. We afraid of life problems. We afraid of relationship. We afraid of exams. We afraid of strangers. Any sort of fear is there in our life, right? So once we take the decisions to break it and come out there, our growth start. Yes, Gehans Medulansa, thank you so much for giving a wonderful presentation as always. Wish you all the best. God bless you, Puta. We'll move to the Situmi. Next, I'm coming to Hirusara. Get ready, yeah? Situmi will be the second. Third is going to be the Hirusara. Right, Rithumi. Go ahead.
Good evening, my dear teacher and my dear
Good
friends.
evening, darling.
Good evening, madam. Today I am going to present about the poem I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou's autobiography and her poem both utilize powerful metaphor of free bird versus trapped bird in a cage to symbolize the African and American struggle for liberation against societal constraints. And moreover, the song of the caged bird represents the hope despite immense limitation and spirit which yearns for freedom. And in addition, as an additional information, this poem got an inspiration from the poem Sympathy, written by Paul Lawrence. So let's talk about the poem. The freebird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. So the first stanza giving us vivid imagery and showing how effortlessly moved by this free bird, and the orange sun rays showcasing the beauty of freedom and how the limitless possibility that got by this free bird to is. And the line, it says, dares to claim the sky. It showcases his limitless freedom and how he enjoys his comfortable and comfortable life, and his audacity and also the human qualification that dares to climb the sky means kind of giving human qualities to overcome hardship. So it's it can be called as personification as a literary device. So, in contrast, but the second stanza says, but a bird that stalked down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bar of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opened his throat to sing. Here, here the narrow cage, it showcases captivity, and bars of rage, it shows that previously the orange sun rays showcases the beauty of freedom, but here bars of rage showcase the ugliness of oppression. So, and here the narrow cage prevent the cage bird from physical and mental growth, and also his wings are clipped and feet are tied. It means he's under restriction and oppression also. Though he is under restriction and captivity, he is not giving up from his freedom. So, though his only tool to escaping wings and feet are tied, he still has throat to sing. So he start to sing, and it's the only way to express the freedom that he is longing. So it stands for the theme inner strength and hope for freedom. And also this stanza showcases and highlights the struggle of marginalized communities. So comparing this first and second stanza, these two stanzas written in a way using the technique juxtaposition or contrast. The first bird experiencing and exploring his life to the extreme level, but the second bird is in a cage and under captivity, where he can't even move. So in the third stanza, the caged bird sings with fearful thrill of the things unknown but long for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Though he opened his throat to sing, because of persistent captivation and enslavement, there is an afraid thought in his mind that there should be any danger to their life. That's why though he is singing, there is a fearful thrill in his voice. So it's the reason of his chronic trauma due to lack of freedom and everything he wants and his dreams. And it says the things unknown but long for still. So ironically, the caged bird is a metaphor to use to highlight the people, African Americans. So metaphorically, when the caged bird still long for his hopes, it says that if the people, African American also have desire for a beautiful life of freedom that they never experienced. And also the last line, distant hill for the caged bird sings of freedom, it symbolizes that this oppression has engulfed the every corner of the world without any liberation. And the next stanza, the free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade wings soft through the sight increase, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright land lone, and he names the sky his own. So when the free bird has already privileged of everything, and when when the poet says he's waiting for another breeze, she's telling that uh, they they had endless opportunities in their life, and even what they want they are already provided, and everything is and in every thing has provided, and they enjoy their life to depth. And it says he names the sky his own. It it indicates that feels ownership over freedom, and the dominance nature of uh, free bird, metaphorically American people. They only think that this freedom belong to them, not African American people. Though both are Americans, they only think they are the one who rights to deserve the freedom and liberation. But a caged bird stands on a grave of dreams. His shadows shout on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. Here it says that the caged bird, metaphorically the African American people, they are already in the grave of their dreams. It means their dreams are already dead, but still, and their dreams and hopes are not easy to attain, and even their shadows shouts out on a nightmare scream. It means even their shadow reflects unbearable suffering they undergo, and his wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing means this as previously this line also repeated. This is the technique called repetition. So this repetition makes a verb to highlight the constant oppression that caged bird, or metaphorically the African American people, undergo, and also it emphasizes the intensity of their suffering and agony for freedom that cannot be ignored. And the last stanza, the caged bird sings with the fearful thrill of things unknown but long, for still his tune is undone. The distant hill for the caged bird sings of freedom. Here, though he is confinement, his longing for liberty and freedom cannot be suppressed because they are wider than the narrow cage he or the African American community locked up, and he enduring every hardship and sings despite it all. So this stanza stands for resilient spirit, and also themes like dreams and longing, universal desire for freedom, and finally unending struggles and resilience. So we can find imageries like fear when the bird singing while and thrilling, and also iteration when F sound repeating. And in conclusion, there may be boundaries to our dreams, but we can make them break. So throughout this poem, Maya Angelou believes that though she had a very difficult life, she had already came out from that darkness and embrace the sunlight. So she wanted to do us the same. So I believe it's possible to change a body, but impossible to beat a soul engulfed from hopes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Situmi. Very well organized, very rich, content-rich presentation, right? Very calm and quiet way you express, but putting all the things inside your presentation without losing anything, right? Without missing even a single point. You have included everything you learn, and you have done some extra researches, outside researches as well. I can see that through the points you share with us. It is obvious that you have done a lot, right? Okay, thank you so much, Situmi. Situmi will move to the next presenter, that is Hirusara. Hirusara, are you ready to do the presentation?
Teacher, I didn't prepare a presentation.
Last Tuesday recording, you didn't watch the recording yet?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
You didn't.
Then Saheli. Usman, be ready. Next, you are the one who is going to present. Hirusara. What happened to Hirusara? Saheli, why I can't? Hirusara is back, but I can't. Okay. Okay, Pute. Go ahead.
Good evening, my dear teacher and my friends. Today I'm going to talk about the poem I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou was an American author and a poetess. She was called America's most visible black female autobiographer. She's best known for her series of 6 autobiographical volumes, which was focused on her childhood and her early adulthood experiences. First and most highly acclaimed poem is I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, because it shows her experience of first 17 years. It brought her international recognition and also nominated her for book awards and won her prizes. She is one of a new kind memories, one of the first American women to be noticed by the public and discussed. She was highly respected as a spokesperson for women and also Black Africans. Angela's work shows the how difficult Black Africans' lives when it consider about Americans, because Americans treat Black Africans like they are slaves or they disrespect them. When we talk about the first stanza, it shows about the free bird. Maya Angelou used free bird and cage birds as two metaphors to show the contrast between the privileged people with limitless opportunities and the people who are suffering and who have less opportunities, or they are restricted from the world, or they can't reach their dreams or hope. In the first stanza, it shows how the free birds move happily, carried effortlessly through the wind without any boundaries. That's right, they can fly everywhere they want, but no one is going to stop them. They enjoy the beauty and the natural world without any restriction. They have completed their freedom and confidence, and they can move without thinking about others, that they have reached their luxury, like they can live their lives while the cage birds long for the freedom. In the second stanza, that shows how cage birds' life is. Like they have a small place, like they got a limit place to live. The bars compared this limit the place they got, like it's a small place covered with bars, and it can be compared to their entity. Wings are feet are tight. that shows how restricted they are, or they are bound to be treated like slaves. Shows how they are restricted both physically and mentally. Also, they open his door to sing. That shows he sings because that's only thing they can do, or they use their singing, or the song is symbolize the hope. They try to reach their dreams or long for them, even though they have less opportunities. Shows what kind of what kind of uh, hope they got. In the third stanza, his song is filled with fear because they sings with fearful thrill. Shows how their songs is filled with fear, things unknown but long for stay. Their desires for freedom and their desire for new experiences. Even though they have less opportunities, they still desire for freedom. Heard on the distant sea. They cry, and their cry can be heard far away, symbolize their suffering and longing for the hope. In the stanza 4, thinks of another day shows how free birds, because when they reach for something, they ask for more because they have no boundaries. That right, they can go for more from more. They have limitless opportunities and limitless dreams. A fat worm's waiting, don't bite low, shows the food, the comfort, and everything surrounding. Like they don't need to fight for them; they have it around them. Names the sky his own. They feel the ownership and freedom of their own. When cage birds try to own their own life, but free birds have already ownership of their freedom and their life. In the stanza 5, shows the cage birds' plan. Like they try to reach for their dreams even though they are maybe dead or they are impossible. Even Shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. Nightmare scream gives personification in this poem, and also that shows how even the caged bird's shadow reflects the suffering and their pain or the sadness Monday. Wings are clipped, feet are tied. That this shows the repetition again and again, shows how what kind of suffering they are going under. It shows the longing and the suffering and how what kind of pain they are in. Open his door to sing, he still sings despite it all, because it shows even though they are under so much pain, so much suffering, they still sing, thinking that one day they can reach to their dreams or they can fulfill their basic needs. In stanza 7, it is a repetition, shows the hope, pain, desire for freedom. Again and again it shows, emphasize suffering and hope, even though they can't reach for it. Yet in the last stanza, it used a contrast again, the free bird and the cage bird, showing free bird and how easy free bird's life while how difficult cage bird's life is. When we talk about the theme, freedom versus oppression, that shows how freebird represent freedom and privileged life, the luxury, how their life is easier, how they have their loved ones, the basic needs they need as a human, while cage bird symbolizes the suffering, the pain. They asked to claim the sky, shows unlimited opportunity. So limitless space they have to reach for their dreams. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, highlights the restriction or the limit placed for the cage birds or their prey. Hope and resilience. Even though the cage bird is trapped, it continues to sing, shows their hope. If they know that it is difficult for them to reach their dreams, but they kept singing, hoping for one day that they can reach their dream. Shows the human spirit despite the suffering they are going through, racial injustice and inequality. The poem is a metaphor used for American people, mainly black people and women, when it comes to the society, because society treat them unres- they unrespect them, and they try to overpower them. Like they use those people as their slaves. The cage birds paints reflects a community, how uh, they are removed from the community, even though they all people are just humans. In the fourth theme, inner strength and the power of voice. Open is thought to sing shows the courage shown by the cage bird. Even though they are suffering and they are restricted from the other world, they still try to reach for their dreams, still trying to fulfill their basic needs. Last thing, privilege and ignorance of the free bird. The free birds can't understand the pain the cage birds going through. So they try to, if they are accomplished one uh, dream, they try to reach for another, but they are careless. This shows their carelessness towards the cage bird, because the cage birds have no, maybe they are apart from their family or their loved ones, and they don't have basic needs like education, love, food, and comfort. When we talk about the literary devices, Maya Angelou used two metaphors, the free bird and cage birds, to symbolize and shows the contrast between the privileged life and the, the people who fight for their life. Imagery, vivid images create a strong contrast, like orange sun rays shows the beauty and the freedom of the world, while the bars of rain shows how restricted they are, or how limit is their space. Yeah, and the third radio device is repetition. Repetition, the cage bird sings with fearful trill, shows their hope and their fear. Their fear to fight, but their hope is, can be seen from these repetitions too. Personification, sign trees and shadows out on a nightmare screen, gives personification or gives human qualities to the poem while reflecting the pain. Alliteration, uh, bones, distant hills add musical flow to the poem. In the last literary devices is symbolism. The bird shows the freedom and the opportunities or the life, happy life one people are going to. Cage bird shows the uh, suffering, pain, and longing which go through by black people or the women. And the song shows the hope in cage birds, which symbolize the black people or women. As in the conclusion, it can be shown that Maya Angelou tries to show the differences or the contrasts between them, and he wanted to show how what kind of pain black people and women going through, and they need to be treated same like the others, or their life matters like the others, and their hope will never be dead. Like they think that things which are impossible can be possible if they try to overcome them. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, now you guys are having a very good, very crystal clear idea about the presentations, right? Now everybody just like 2025 batch. 2025, not 2025. You guys are 2026 batch now? Yes, 2025 O-level Tenukiakis batch. You guys are exactly like them now. Like her. Tenuki is the best performer, right? You guys are same like her, maybe better than her now, right? So please continue the good work. Always search details, always prepare yourself for the presentation. Stick with the point you have and try to improve more and more. But I don't have anything to mention. Puta, you missed this one, you missed that one. Likewise, I have no negative things to mention. If I have one, definitely I am going to tell you. Right? You know about me. Before the positive things, first of all, I come out with the negative stuff. But you guys have nothing, right? I have nothing to pinpoint that these points were missing. These things you didn't include. Likewise, I still, so far, I had 3 presenters. So far, I couldn't find any negative point in yours. That's great. That's great. But continue your preparation, continue your work. Don't think that, okay, we have done a lot and we are performing really well, hereafter we don't want to do. No, not like that. Okay, there are a lot to go, there are a lot to do. So always keep working, but still you guys are doing really well, really well. Okay, thank you so much, Saheli. And this boy was asking an excuse. So shall we move to the Vidumini? Right, Vidumini?
Good evening, madam and my dear friends. Today I am going to present about I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. The free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats down stream. Still the current ends, and dips his wings in the orange sun rays, and dare to claim the sky. So in this stanza, it shows the complete freedom enjoyed by a free bird. And also here, orange sun rays shows the beauty of the freedom. So, and also, dare to claim the sky shows the unlimited opportunities that free bird have. So here, next, poet choose just a position to compare the free bird and a caged bird. But the bird that stalked down his narrow cage can alone see through his bears of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opened his throat to see. So here the cage symbolize the captivity of caged bird, and also bars of range symbolize anger and also captivity of a caged bird. So his wings are clipped and his feet are tied, shows the total restriction of free bird. So it shows that caged birds are oppressed. So because of that, he opened his throat to speak because his whole freedom is blocked or restricted by the cage. So he opened his throat to sing, shows inner strength and the power of voice. So it shows the courage to speak out against injustice. So, in the third stanza, the caged bird sings with fearful thrill of the things unknown, but long for still, and his tear is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. This stanza shows the theme, dream and longing. So here his song is filled with fearful thrill, and also it reveals the deep desire for a better life. So, on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom, shows his cry is heard far away. It's symbol of the oppressed reaching the world. In the fourth stanza, the free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade being soft through the shining trees, and the fat worms waiting on the down bright lawn. he named the sky his own. So this shows that free bird assumed the world belongs to him. So here, free bird have everything a bird needs: food, comfort, and abundance surrounded by him. And also, still he names
Putta, are you reading or you are not looking at the camera?
Okay, madam.
See the camera and say, oh, if you are you reading or are you explaining point in your own ways, but you don't see the camera? I see the camera and present. Otherwise, I feel like you are reading. But while I was observing, it's not like you are reading, but you are explaining yourself, but not looking at the camera. So look at the camera while you are doing the presentation. Yes, Pratik. Eye contact is a must.
Okay, madam. And he named the sky his own, shows the dominance of free bird. And it shows the entitlement and the carelessness toward the other suffering. So in this stanza, it shows the theme, privilege and ignorance. In next stanza, but a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His dream shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opened his throat to speak. So here, caged bird stands on the grave of dreams shows the again the dream and the loneliness, longing. His dreams are, so it means his dreams are dead or impossible to reach. And also here poet use repetition. It shows the constant oppression. So in the next stanza is also the repetition of the previous stanza. It also shows the caged birds crying for freedom, and also pain, endurance of caged bird, and at the same time it shows caged bird desire for freedom. So throughout the poem, Maya Angelou shows the inequality of society and injustice. So it means white American peoples have their freedom more than enough, but still they complain about small things. But black American, they don't have something called freedom, and still their cries for freedoms are ignored by the society. So it shows that poem. So in conclusion, it shows that human spirit continue to hope and demand freedom even in the face of server oppression. So yeah, that's all, madam.
Okay, Pate. So Vidumini, thank you so much for your presentation. Preparation is there. I can say the preparation is there, but is this your like your third or fourth presentation? Is this your
Yes, madam.
fourth one, right? Fourth one. Okay, right. So the first day I asked you, is this your first presentation? Second day I asked you, is this your first or second presentation? No? Yes, you remember?
Yes, madam.
Yes, I did. Yeah. So what you have to do while you're before your presentation, make sure you present in front of your camera, in front of your what we call the mirror. In front of the mirror, keep your points. Just paste them on a paper over the mirror and present. Right? Then you get the confidence and you see your face, you see your eye contact. You know how to talk to eye, right? You have to see the camera and present, otherwise the listeners will get bored, right? They feel abandoned, they feel like you are talking to somebody else, not for them. So how to practice it? Mirror practice. Be in front of the mirror, present it, see your eye and present, then you practice of presenting yourself while see in the camera. When we are doing the physical presentation, that's easy because with the next person, the listener is nearby, so we can see their eye to eye and present ourselves. But in a virtual platform like ours, it's a bit different. What you have to consider the camera as your audience. So talk to the camera just the way you talk to your audience. Okay, then we feel like you are talking to us with it. So that was the only part. And please listen to the correct pronunciations. I believe you have to work on your pronunciation. Some places you have some issues in your presentation, so it's not a big deal. Please listen more. Listen to the correct pronunciation. Listen to the native speakers. See how they pronounce words. Okay, Pate? Right. The literature concept was okay. Only thing, eye contact part and the clarity. Clarity means the pronunciation only. Okay, Pata? Right? Rather than that, everything was perfect. Thank you so much, Vidumini. We'll move to the next speaker. Usman, are you ready? Why these people are leaving? Amodya. Hello, Amodya. After a long time no see. I don't know how I am going to live without you. Amodya, I was missing you like hell. I was about to quit all the classes without you. Then you drop me a message, teacher, give me some time, I'll join. So I was like holding the thread until you rejoin. Enough, teacher, enough. Please, I was sick. Be some mercy on me. Ne? එහෙම කියලා හරියන්නේ නෑ ළමයි. ආදරේ තිබුණාම පෙන්නන්න ඕනේනේ. පන්නන්න නැති ආදරේ වැඩක් නෑනේ. Amodya, shall I put you on the hot water? Inside the hot water, shall I spotlight you? Are you ready to present?
Yeah, teacher, okay.
Perfect. See, just when she was in the hospital, she has been practicing my presentation. You become beautiful. I don't know, you are glowing. May I know the reason? Which hospital you were? Who was the doctor? What type of medicine he gave? Can I have a little bit from yours? You are glowing after. I don't know that after being sick, somebody become this beautiful. I just want to... Sitami, is there a method to fell sick and admit to the same hospital of Amodya to look beautiful? Amodya, මොන හැන්දෙන්ද ඔයාලට බෙහෙත් බීවි? ඔච්චර ලස්සන වෙන්න. Okay, right. Teacher වා දන්නේ නැහැ teacher වගේ ලස්සන මම මේ පෙන්නන්න නැතුව නිකන් එන්නේ. මගේ ලස්සන පෙනේ කියලා. මම ලස්සන නැදගෙන යනවා ඔයා ආවෙලා වශී වෙනවා. Hardy. Okay. Right. Full stop to the jokes. Come to the serious case. Right. Okay.
Good evening, my dear teachers and my dear friends. So today I'm going to present I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. So this poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, is written by Maya Angelou, who was an American poet, writer, and a civil activist. So she wrote this poem based on her own life experiences, especially the racism and the discrimination she faced while growing up. So this poem is not just about the birds, it's really about the people and the society. So I will give you guys a quick summary of this poem. So at this beginning of this poem, Maya Angelou talks about a free bird. So this bird can fly wherever it wants, enjoy the wind, the sky, and live without any kind of fear. So basically, life is easy and comfortable for this bird. So it doesn't have any kind of restrictions at all. But then she introduces this another bird, which is the cage bird. So this bird is trapped inside a cage. Its wings are clipped, its feet are tied, and it can't fly at all. So it's angry and frustrated and hurt because it knows there's a whole world outside, but it can't reach it at all. So even though the cage bird is suffering, it still sings. The song is not a happy song, but it cries for freedom. So the bird sings because it has no other way to express its pain and its lost hope. So, and even though the bird is trapped, its voice goes far beyond the cage. So, by comparing these two birds, the poet shows how some people in society live freely while others are trapped by racism, discrimination, and injustice. So, this cage bird represents the oppressed people, and the free bird represents the privileged people. So, let me go for the themes. So, the first theme I've collected is the freedom and oppression. So, I would say this is the biggest theme in the poem. So, the free bird lives without any limits. And while the cage bird lives like he's living under the control and he's restrained. And then I've collected the other theme, hope and resilience. So even though the cage bird is trapped, it still sings. And this shows that oppressed people never fully lose hope, no matter how bad things get. And then I've collected racism and injustice. So like the cage represents racism and unfair systems, and it stops certain people from having equal kind of opportunity. And then the last thing I've collected is power of voice. So the poem, so it says that the song that the cage bird sings, it shows how important it is to speak up even when freedom is taken away. Your voice still matters. And then let's move on to the literary devices. Metaphor. So metaphor, the birds are metaphors here. So the free bird represents people who are privileged, and the cage bird represents the people who are oppressed. And then we've got symbolism. So when we got symbolism, there's a lot of symbolisms here. The cage, right? The cage symbolizes the discrimination and the racism. And the song that is sung by the bird who is in the cage, it represents the hope and the fight for freedom. And then the sky symbolizes the freedom and the opportunity. And then we've got the repetition. So when we talk about repetition, the poet repeats the idea that the cage bird sings to emphasize how strong hope and resilience are. And then we've got imagery. So imagery is this poem. Words like clipped wings, bars of rage. So it clearly imagines the pain and the frustration of being trapped. So let's talk about the overall meaning. Maya Angelou is saying that the world is not fair. So some people are born into freedom, while others are limited by society. But no matter how trapped someone is, their desire for freedom and justice can never be fully destroyed. So I would say the final moral of this poem. So even if life puts you in a cage, don't stop dreaming and don't stop using your voice. You may not be free physically, but hope and courage can never be caged. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's true, right? No matter how hard your life is, No matter how difficulties you are undergoing, never stop dreaming, because there will be a day your difficulties will disappear, your dreams will come true. You see the things that felt so difficult, impossible, right? Everything gonna be possible one day. Till that, what you have to do, never give up, be resilient, right? Be resilient and fight for what you want. Definitely they will come to your feet, come to your feet. Right. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Yadav, are you ready? Come. Yadav, come. Presentation, you have presentation.
Again. So good evening, my dear teacher and my dear friends. So today I am going to do a appreciation about "I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings" by Maya Angelou. So "I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings" by Maya Angelou is a powerful that explores what? That explores the theme of freedom versus oppression and racial injustice and powerful resilience. Okay. So the poet, this poem is just like a contrast of like a free bird and a caged bird. So free bird, what's free bird? Free bird who claims the sky and who receives all the freedoms and all the joyful. But other side, see the caged bird. Oh, so the caged bird is trapped and wounded, and this symbolizes the racial and racism. This contrast feel unequalized because why unequal? Because the free bird and the cage bird, they are unequal because free bird is another world, cage bird is another world. So as you know, in this slide I have mentioned Maya, the same life story is like 50% compare is all as the Maya Angelou. As you know, Maya Angelou also
Keep it like
like
that. You get the sound.
okay. So also known as Maya Angelou, at her she got teased from males, and she had to face many hardship, and held strong towards the world. So especially African and American who suffered under racism. So Maya Angelou was born in 1928 and passed away in 2014 as an African and American poet. කලින් ආවා. මෙහෙම කරන්න පුළුවන් මොනවා. වැරදි. अरे एबा बुत करने so the caged bird sings with fearful trill. So in this line, it shows that the bird's song is not one of joy, but pain and longing. However, the song implies hope and resistance as the bird continues to sing and despite suffering. The central theme emphasizes the human desires for freedom and dignity, even the face of hardship. So why, so why the caged bird sings as because as we compare to free bird and the caged bird sings he no freedom and racism as trapped and wounded. That's this they expresses the torture of why. Okay. Angelo uses several literary devices effectively. Symbolism is dominant, where caged bird represent oppressed people and the free bird represent who enjoy the world, and the grave of dreams, bar of rage and grave of dreams helps readers to feel the bird's confinement. Repetition of line, I know why the caged bird sings, the emotional intensity, the ongoing struggle of freedom, metaphor is used throughout the poem by comparing human life to birds, making the messages to universal and powerful. So overall, the poem delivers a strong message about the injustice, hope, and the strength of the human spirit. So thank you, my dear teacher and my dear friends.
Preparation is not enough as always. As always, within 5 minutes, can you prepare for a presentation? The final moment when I stopped my 4 to 6 class, I stopped class by 4:50, no 5:50, and I had my lunch around 6 o'clock, right? Within that 5 minutes, this boy prepared for the presentation. How a person can prepare for a presentation within 5 to 10 minutes? Right, he didn't do that. So that because of that reason he is struggling. Otherwise, utilizing physically he has all the equipment and all, can do a better presentation than this, but still preparation time is not enough. Preparation is not enough. හැමදාම එකයි කියන්නේ. අද කිව්වොත් එහෙම ඊළඟ දවසේ ප්‍රෙපෙයාර් වෙනවා, ඊට පස්සේ දවසේ ආපහු නැහැ. ගගන Usman, you ready now? Usman Puta? Usman? We'll see. Usman, go ahead with it. You have to arrange the camera the way I can see your entire face. Only the forehead is visible. I want to see your full face. Bit more. Okay. Don't come too closer to the camera. Keep some distance, little distance between you and the camera. Then we can see your entire, at least upper part of the body. Go ahead, Usman. Go ahead.
The poem, I know why the caged
Shut
bird
down
sings.
the computer and see this. Shut it. Shut. Wait, Usman. Shut down the computer. Usman, go ahead.
The poem, I know why the caged bird sings, is about how different people live very different lives. Maya Angelou uses two birds to explain this idea in a simple but powerful way. The free bird represents people, who live with freedom. The, the bird can fly wherever it wants and does not feel trapped. It enjoys the sky, the sun, and nature. It feels safe and dominant. It feels safe and confident. The free bird believes the world belongs to it and it can plan for the future without fear. This shows us how some people are lucky because they have freedom, rights, and many opportunities in life. The caged bird represents people who do not have freedom. The bird is stuck inside a cage. Its wings are clipped and its feet are tied, so it cannot fly or escape. This shows how unfair laws, racism, and discrimination stop people from living full lives. The cage is not just a real cage, it stands for society, controlling and limiting certain people. Even though the caged bird is trapped and hurt, it still sings. The bird sings loudly so others can hear it. The song is about pain and about wanting freedom. Singing is the only way the bird can express its feelings and hope. This shows that even when people are treated badly, they still have a voice and still want a better life. The poet repeats the idea of the caged bird singing to show that hope never dies, even when people are controlled or silenced. They continue to dream and speak out. The poem teaches us that freedom is very important for everyone, that we should listen to people who are suffering and understanding their struggles. That's all.
Usman also just prepared, no, Usman? Until
Yes, miss.
all the other students do their presentation, you prepare right now. Am I right?
Yes, miss. I was absent for the last 2 classes, miss. I didn't know, miss.
Okay. Gagana? Okay. Gagana, are you ready to present? Noor Rahma? Noor, are you ready to present?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Good morning, my dear teacher and my dear friends. Today I am here to talk about the poem I Know Why Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. And let's talk about Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou was born in 1928 and died in 2019. And she was a celebrated African American poet, an autobiographer, and a civil rights activist. Her works mostly represent about the freedom, racism, trauma, and resilience. And her well-famous book called I Know Why Caged Bird Sings represents her personal struggles and the struggles of African American people. She actively involved in civil rights activism along with Dr. Martin Luther and Malcolm X. Angela received numerous awards, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2010. And about the poem is that this poem talks about the free bird and the caged bird. The freed bird is about the freedom, enjoyment, and the happiness, while the caged bird talks about the oppression, struggles, less of opportunity, and many more. And we can see that this is a typical struggle between the white people and black people, and it still remains in modern days as well. The summary of this poem is that free birds enjoy the utmost freedom while the caged bird experience the utmost oppression. And the significant things about this poem is that the caged bird opens its throat to sing about its struggles and express its sufferings. And this is a significant phenomenon of the human nature as well. And we can see that if a person is if a person is suppressed more and more, the inner strength always grow more and more. And this is an example for that. And the themes of this poem is that freedom and oppression. Freedom is symbolized by the free bird, while the caged bird is represented by the oppression. An example for that is dares to play in the sky is an example for the free bird, and his wings are clipped and feet are tied together are example for the caged birds. Hope and resilience. Hope is that the caged bird sings about a struggle, represents hope, and the confidence and the courage of the bird is resilience, racial injustice, and inequality. We can see that throughout the poem it describes about the free bird and the caged bird, which clearly represents about the racial injustice and inequality, inner strength, and the powerful voice. We can see that the body of the caged bird is gradually dying, but the inner strength never dies. It is a normal human nature, and the outward reaction of the inner strength is the voice, and that is why it's singing. Dreams and longing. The caged bird longing for the things which is unknown. It doesn't know what is freedom. It doesn't know what is deliciousness. It doesn't know what is opportunity and this, but still it's longing for that. And that is an example for the dreams and longing. Privilege and ignorance of the free bird. We can see that the free bird is unaware about the struggles of caged bird, but still enjoys the things without any feeling for the caged bird. And this is clearly showcases about the ignorance of the free bird. And the literary devices of this poem is that metaphor. We can see that free bird is compared to the freedom, while caged bird is compared to the oppressed. Entire poem talks about the struggles of African American, which is a huge metaphor of this poem. Imagery. We can see that a vivid imagery can be drawn from some lines. Example for that is orange sun rays, which is talks about the beauty and the freedom. Bars of range. We can see that anger and captivity of the caged bird. Repetition. The repetition of the caged bird sings with fearful thrill, emphasizes the struggles of African American people. Personification. We can see some personification in the poem. Example for that is sighing trees, shadow shouts on a nightmare screen. Alliteration. Seldom see platforms and distant hills. Symbolization is free bird symbolizes for the freedom, opportunity, happiness, enjoyment. Caged bird represents about the oppression, racism, lack of opportunity. And the thought-provoking thing that I have learned from this thing is the human nature is that the more people are suppress a person, the more innocent grows. The example for that is Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou experienced the utmost oppression during her childhood and after she grown as well. And we can see that she had died a decade ago, but her legend still remains as it before. Thank you for listening to this presentation.
Exactly, right? When a person oppressed more, she or he start to grow more, right? So that best example is Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou, the hardship she underwent when she was small, and her life journey, right? No, not a single one can bear that much of pressures, that much of pain, but from that pain she desired to grow. From that pain she started to raise her voice, right? That's how she left her legacy behind us. So still we appreciate her, right? After being in AI age, AI generation, with being belong to the AI generation, still we are earning for her life, right? The life story of her, that legacy is there. That's true. Thank you so much, Nur Rahma, for adding perfect presentation, perfect point to the flow, right? Gaganas, I hope Are you ready, Puta? Gagan and Hirus are only remaining. Gagana, what about you, Pute?
Miss,
Yeah, tell me.
today I'm going to talk about I Know Why the Cage Bird by Maya Angelou. I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings by Maya Angelou is an
Gagana,
autobiographical.
give me a second. Are you going to read out? If you are ready, do. If not, please don't read out. Because I'm so happy because the way the other students did their presentation. So if you guys, the final one, if you read out, I get angry. Oh, the entire day happiness will come to the end. You understand? So please don't do that. Don't do that. If you are ready, do it. If not, tell that you are not a no teacher. I didn't prepare myself. Because read out කරන එක වැඩක් නැහැ මං අහන්නෙත් නැහැ. කොයි වෙලාවද ඔය කිවර වෙන්නේ කියලා මං එහාට මෙහාට ඇවිදගෙන ඉන්නවා මිසක්. Right, I don't listen to the readers. I need the presentation, not the reading session. Because I know literature students, they can read. If it is a language class, yes, I will think little bit of you as well, right? You guys want to improve your reading. Amodhya, join my grade 10 and 11 grammar class, will you? Grammar and language class. Like I do focus the paper. 10 and 11, I do focus the paper. It's not the grammar, it's everything. Right? Only thing I don't go with the school textbook, but still I cover up the areas which should be covered within your grade 10. And definitely you will be able to do your paper. Because writing, reading, listening, speaking, all 4 components will be covered there. Okay. එකම දේ තමයි ස්කූල් ටෙක්ස්ට් බුක් එක කරන්නේ. මොකද මට තේරෙන විදිහට ඒක ස්කූල් ටෙක්ස්ට් බුක් එකකින් වඩා ගොඩක් දේවල් පැය දෙකක් ඇතුළතදී කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒ පොත පැත්තක තිබ්බොත්. ඒ නිසා තමයි මම මගේ ඉන්ට්‍රොඩක්ෂන්ස් මේ වීඩියෝ එකේම කියන්නේ I'm not going to cover the school textbook කියලා. නැත්නම් ක්ලාස් එක පටන් ගත්තට පස්සේ අම්මලා ඇවිල්ලා teacher don't you do the textbook කිව්වම මට පෙන්නන්න පුළුවන්. Wait a minute, I'll send you the link. So this is my introduction video. This is how I promote. I told you I'm not going to do the school textbook, but I give you the guarantee that you will be able to do the paper without any hesitations. Right? Okay, hurry. We have 10 minutes. I'm going to give you some questions with it. විනාඩි 10ක් කියන්නේ කොච්චර ලොකු වෙලාවක්ද කියලා තේරෙන්න ගන්න පුළුවන් සුසන්තිකාගෙන් ඇහුවනම්. සුසන්තිකා වික්‍රමසිංහෙන් ඇහුවනම් විනාඩි 10ක් කියන්නේ කොච්චර ලොකු දෙයක්ද කියලා. She will tell you the importance of even 10 seconds. No, she became the 3rd of Olympic. The time gap was less than 10 seconds, no? But finally what happened? The person who won the gold medal was proof as she been under the medications. Medications mean she has been using drugs to keep her speed up, to keep her energy up. All the medals she won from all the tournaments were taken back. හැබැයි වැඩක් නැහැනේ. ඔයාලා දන්නවද? ජෝන් මේරියන්ස් එයාගේ තිබිච්ච අවෝඩ්ස් ටික මේ මෙඩල්ස් ටික ඔක්කොම ගත්තා. සුසන්තිකාට දෙවෙනි තැන හම්බුණා කියලා ඔයාලා දන්නවද? Do you know? Earlier she was the 3rd, and finally just because after proving the first person has done some forgery, her place was taken off, and the second place was given the first, third place was given the second place, but useless. Nobody knows. Only few people know about that, including you guys. You have no idea. එතකොට ඒක දීලා වැඩක් නැහැ. ඒ වෙලාවේ එයාට හම්බෙච්ච මේ මොනවාද කියන්නේ? ඒ appreciation එකවත් ආපහු සුසන්තිකා පිටරටට යවලා දැන් දෙවනියානේ gold medal, silver medal නේ ආපහු රටට ගෙනල්ලා silver medal දින්න කියලා appreciate කරන්නේ නැහැනේ. ඒ වගේ තමයි. ගියා නම් ගියා තමයි. හරිද? හරි. past papers කොමගේ past papers? මන් දැම්මනේ. හරි. ඔයාලට තෝරන මේ ටික ඔක්කොම මම කොපි කරලා දාන්න. ඔක්කොම past papers ටික තියෙනවා. 2016 ඉඳලා 2022 2023 වෙනකන් තියෙන papers ටික ඔක්කොම තියෙනවා. මම බලන්න යන්නේ මායා ඇන්ජලෝගෙන් මොනවද තියෙන්නේ ඒව ටික විතරක් කතා කරගන්නයි යන්නේ. Okay. 16 17 එකේ මට
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, baby.
Teacher, did you conduct the novel class recently?
Recently, no, not yet. I didn't. If I conduct, definitely I would have informed in the group. Most probably tomorrow. I don't know whether you will be able because all 5 days I have classes. When I reach home, it's almost 10, 11. Until 10 o'clock I have class. Yesterday I went home, it was 11. So after that I can't put up. I start my classes now 4 o'clock, 4 to 10. All 5 days I have class except Friday. Friday I have my lectures. So only Saturday and Sunday, no matter what, even though 1 or 2 people can join on screen, I will conduct it and share the recordings with you. ඇයි එතනින් ක්ලෝස් කරාම සම්පූර්ණයෙන් ක්ලෝස් වෙනවා බබා. Yeah. Saturday ඔයාලට පුළුවන් වෙලාවල් කියන්න බලන්න මට. Saturday morning or evening 5 before 5 o'clock I have lectures. Morning 9 to 11. Can't? Why? You don't have class? You wait here just? එහෙනම් කණ්ඩ වෙලාවක් නැහැ කියලා කිව්වේ? බොරු කරනවා කියන්නේ අම්මෝ මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂගේ පුතා අපේ ගෙදර ඉන්නේ. ඕහෝ මට ගෙදරදී කියනවා සෙනසුරාදා කණ්ඩවත් වෙලාවක් නැහැ. මේ මාව ක්ලාස් යවන්න එපා මට පැය 10ක් ඔයාව බලන්න නැතුව ඉන්න බෑ කියලා. බොරු. බැලුනම් හෙට 3:00 ඉඳලා 5 වෙනකන් ක්ලාස් එකක් නැහැලු. මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ වැරදිලා අපේ ගෙදර දාලා ගිහිල්ලා මෙයාව. කොවනේ. මට එක ක්වෙස්චන් එකක් හරි හම්බුනොත් නෑනේ. past papers වල first question එකක්වත් නැද්ද මේ I know why the cage bird sings වල. essay questions නම් 2016 වලම තිබුණා. නෑ. ඔයාලට ඕන නම් කියන්න මම මේ past papers ටික එහෙමම copy කරලා දාන්නම් group එකට. නෑ. ඒකත් නෑ. නෑ. No. එක short question එකක්වත් නෑ නේ තාම. 2016 ඉඳලා මේ ඇවිල්ලා past papers බබා. past papers, O level papers. Here, මෙතන තියෙනවා මේ essay type questions තියෙනවා. හැබැයි මේක නෑ. short answers questions නෑ. හරි, අපි ඊළඟ දවසේම බලමු ඈ. ඊළඟ දවසේම බලමු මම මේ past papers ටික ඔයාලට hard copy තියෙනවා නම් ඕනේ නැහැ. soft copies ටික ඕන නම් කියන්න මම ඔක්කොම ටික copy කරලා දාන්නම් මේ WhatsApp group එකට. ඕනේද? මේකද copy copy. copy. ඔයාලගේ group එකට දාන්නම් ඕනනම් මම. ඔක්කොම papers ටික දැම්මා past papers Okay guys, right, then next Tuesday we will start another component. මොකක්ද අපේ I know why the O is kind. I am going to start O is kind next Tuesday. God bless you. Good night පුතේ.
Thank you, teacher. Good night, teacher.
You're welcome.
Thank you, madam.
බබා මේ වීණත්තට මාමා එරන්න පොනද